Hi, um, college skills class. Welcome or you've actually been in week three since Monday. And I just wanted I usually do video messages for my classes. I teach at another university as well. And I found that sometimes that helps because I am a bit concerned with this class as I'm grading. Let me first just let you know that I had emergency surgery on Friday and I've been recovering all week. So I haven't been at my 9 to 5, but I have been keeping up with what's going on in class. And as I'm grading, I'm getting concerned with this class because I understand that it is hard to start college and have maybe your first online course and haven't taught online before. I also understand that it is doable, but it is a lot of work. So that's why I send you this email and made you this video just to kind of give you encouragement because I know you can do it. But what you have to know is that you have to be self-motivated and have the gumption to kind of get your work done. It's not something you can sit on the shelf and wait for it to happen. Oftentimes people think that an online class is a lot easier than having to go to class. Well, it is not necessarily easier, but it is more flexible. But there's usually a good bit more work because we have to make sure that you are keeping up with what's going on as if you were in a face-to-face class, which is again why I like to do these videos. So you can at least see me face-to-face. But just want to remind you to make sure that you look at the announcements each week and that you check off everything that you're supposed to do. And if that also means looking at your course calendar and your syllabus, then do that as well. Remember that you should be doing at least one thing each week. You might get ahead of yourself and don't have to. Maybe you're going out of town, but you still should be checking in. And I suggest you check in every day. I do. And that helps to remember because sometimes you think you've gotten everything done and you maybe have forgotten one thing. Or sometimes you wait until the last minute and it's just a lot to do all at once. So check in every day. We usually have 3 to 4 assignments due each week. That is my dryer going off. But just make sure that you get the work done. And if that means just checking in each day, so you just do one thing a day and it won't seem so overwhelming right there at the end. Because another thing that I've noticed is when students procrastinate, there's always an issue trying to get the technology to work right at the end. Your computer never works right when you're trying to get it submitted at the very last second. So get it done. Also, the main other thing I want to remind you of is keep on the lookout for what's going on campus. There are a lot of events that you can choose to do one for your Beyond the Classroom assignment. I will try to keep up with what's going on and send you some reminders as well. But it's up to you to keep up with what's going on and do at least one out of the classroom event this semester because you're going to have to submit that by the end of the semester. And the sooner you get that done, the better, because again, you don't want to forget about that assignment. And the other thing is that this is number 2, and this is very important for online classes. You always have discussion boards due. And sometimes people forget about those because you have regular assignments plus you have a discussion board. Because imagine if we were in class, we would be discussing. And you have not had, many of you, a discussion yet in this class. So your first discussion board was just to tell us about yourself like you would do on the first day of class. I had about 7 or 8 students who completed that discussion board, and that was after I extended it for an additional week and put that in the next um, uh, weekly announcement. Well, I finally had to close it, and some of you got zeros, but that was also as a reminder that you need to check this discussion board. Sometimes that zero is a wake-up call, so that you don't have to worry about getting any more zeros for the rest of the semester as long as you're doing what you need to do. But nonetheless, there's always a discussion board open. There's not a new one each week, but there will always be one open. So sometimes it might be open for an additional week. This is also why it's important that you check daily. because if you think you've done it and you haven't, you need to get that done. As of now, the second discussion board is open, and I think maybe only one person, last I checked, has contributed. And that one's only going to be open for a week. So you don't want another zero just because you forgot to do a discussion board. So please get that done. I know this is a long post, and I usually don't post this long, but there's just a lot that I needed to tell you. And if I do another video, which, hopefully you'll enjoy just seeing my face, then it will be just a couple of minutes. But have a great week. I am doing a lot better. I'm going to get back to work next week. And this has been a good week for me, just kind of see what's going on with you. Enjoy your weekend, but get your work done. Also, it's important, one more thing, that you get your work done so you can get to check that you've been doing your work, because every week when you're doing your work, that shows me that you're in class. If you didn't do any work all week, then no matter how much you looked at it, you're not in class. So I have to not give you credit for your attendance that week. So make sure that you're doing your work weekly. Bye.